What's going on, YouTube? It's ChiHammer Fantasy Battle Reports, and I got another battle report for you today. This is the Michigan GT in Lansing, Michigan. Michigan GT is actually a tournament that is held in a hotel, and it's actually a somewhat of a bigger GT Grand Tournament where there's multiple games going on. There's 40K events, there's Warmahorde events, there's X-Wing events, I think. I don't even know because I wasn't paying attention. I was just walking by, trying to get to my table, trying to take care of getting my stuff in order on a timely manner, because usually my brother's rushing me to go get lunch, and it's chaos everywhere, and then when somebody kills all my goblins, I have to put them all back on the tray. Anyways, that's what Michigan GT is to me. What's going on, guys? I'm excited to give you guys these games coming up. This is 5 tournament games going on, and this is just coming off of my strength in numbers, my ETC, and my Buckeyes list, where I played the same list, all 3 of those. And if you hear me crinkling stuff in the background, I'm trying to get gum out of the damn gum wrapper. Anyways, coming back, I was playing some games on UB, and I was a little annoyed. Yeah, my Buckeye list won me Buckeye battles, and did really well at ETC, but I feel like there's still tweaks. There's still tweaks that I want to do on this list. So one of my biggest complaints about my list is with my ETC list, or my previous list, was it doesn't have damage output. It has decent defense. I mean, everything's defensive. There's so many goblins, there's so many freaking forest goblins, and just backing up in zone control with the K-Pack and the fanatics, and then letting Crom do hold something, or Koopa hold something. But I just wanted to add more damage output, so that's what this list is. This list is a rush list. This list is meant to just run at you as fast as possible and do what they can do. And then all of a sudden, while I'm making this list up, I realize, before I'm making this battle report, I realize I actually done this before at Michigan GT. Last year's Michigan GT, I had a list very similar to this. I had a list where it was a very fast, close combat army. It was just rushing in your face and destroying. So I had this flashback. Not only when I started making the battle report, I look up my pictures to okay, let me pull out my new file of pictures. I need 100 and whatever this is, 113 photos out of this section to put it into the movie maker. And then I realized I picked up the wrong Michigan GT file. I picked the one from last year, and also I'm looking at my list and I'm like, wow, there's a spider, there's Zod, and there's the savages, and I'm like, huh, there is some changes from last year to this year. Of course there's changes from last year to this year, but it was actually kind of cool. So I decided to throw those photos in, and we're gonna go over what my list is. So first off, look at this. Check this out. I got the Foot Clan. Oh! Now, granted, this photo here is when I had 30 of them, or 35, or however many. I think it was 35-ish. But I only got 20 Feral Orc Ed Bashers. 20 Feral Orc Ed Bashers with the big Stabodon on it. And this is just a picture from last year because I felt like using it, and probably the paint wasn't chipped at this time. Over here I got General Zod. Zod is a 1-up, 4-up Iron Orc Warlord. Now, in this iteration of my list, I actually have him with a Dragon Helm, and I'll explain that in a second. Talisman of Supreme Shielding, and a Divine Icon. Now, granted, I have, excuse me, I got distracted because Jacob is sending me messages on my YouTube channel. I grabbed the Divine Icon. Divine Icon is awesome. It's always awesome, right? You just be like, aha, you made your ward, re-roll it, and do it again. But I switched out the Bluffer's Helm to Dragon Helm, and the main reason for this was right before I was about to submit the list, people were talking to me, and they were like, yeah, so-and-so is showing up with a Bloodthirster, so-and-so showing up with the Bloodthirster double cannon list, and then I know for a fact there's a couple guys that I played on UB who are playing Alchemy. I know for a fact Len is coming with a Infernal Dwarf army, which Len canceled. And I was just figuring, you know what? For some reason, in this meta, in this tournament specifically, I feel like flaming is going to be an issue. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Dragon Helm, and that way make Zod. Basically, I took Koopa's kit and put it on Zod, except for the Obsidian Sword turned into a Divine Icon. And I'm just like, we'll see how that goes. Let's see how it does. Over here I got my first, the A-Rock, the Mother of Dragons, my first Gargantula Spider, my first love of my life here. And she is the Devourer of Slayers and the Eater of Artax. And yeah, she's going to do what she does. She's the A-Rock. She's my luckier spider of the two. Or is she? I got my second spider, the Chicken Rock, the Space Rock, the freaking badass, the freaking best freaking painted spider I own. It is awesome. I love it. Both of these two, the Thunder Twins, they're just freaking destroying and denying everybody everything, all the things. Over here I got my 5 Wolf Riders Chaff, and that's basically all my pictures from the old Michigan GT. Let's get new pictures of new Michigan GT. On the right side I got my K-Pack Koga Kaiser Koenig. It's 3 Goblin Wolf Chariots. They're just basically one unit of 3 Goblin Wolf Chariots. And then in the middle I got my 20 Bushwhackers, 2 Shady Gits, because they're going to be common goblins in this video, and then this game. And then I got my 2 wizards. I got my level 3 Witchcraft, the Prophet, and then I got my level 4 Pyromancy, Baxter, the Pyromaniac. Over on this side I got Crom. Crom is the idol of chicken. Alright, the Great Green Chicken. Alright, over here for my opponent, this is Chris Walker here, giving me a very hello. I love taking pictures when people aren't paying attention. I don't know why I do this. Anyways, and then in the background you can see Phil Carl and Joel Flint and Neil Hamilton and Andrew Hetz, or Andres Wheaties as his name is. Over here I got Chris Walker has a unit of Dryads. Looks like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 Dryads. He has a unit of Kestrel Knights. He has 2 units of War Dancers. The tree in the middle is his general. It's a Tree Father Ancient. On the right here, he has that other unit of skirmishing War Dancers. He has a unit of 6 Thicket Beasts, an Eagle, unit of Heath Riders, I think they're called, a BSB with a bow that does, I forgot what it does. It does something. And then he has a big unit of archers here, about 25 or 26 archers. He has a Druid of Druidism. I laughed when I read that. The Druid has Druidism. I'm like, oh, that makes sense. For my magic spells, I got Raven's Wing, I got Wheel Turns, I got Deceptive Glamour, I got Immolation, Flaming Swords, Enveloping Embers, and Pyroclastic Flows. Not the best spells I could take on a Wood Elf army, but it is what it is. So we're deploying, I believe this is Attacker Defender. So I took the big flanks. I believe I picked sides, and I didn't want that hill in the middle to be in my way. It's not a hill. We considered it, I think, impassable. I forgot how we did this, because we had way too much terrain on the table. We had, like, I don't understand what's going on here. So the thing on the right, I think we considered it ruins, the gray spot on the right. The big rock in the middle, on the top right, we considered it impassable. And then I think we actually considered that like Hobbit Hole as a hill, and so is the one on the left is also a hill. Obviously a lake and a forest, and then he's going to plop his own forest right where his hand is. So he took Defender. He took the bigger center. I took the bigger sides, which is totally fine. I put both spiders running up. I'm just like, fuck it. He dropped one thing, and I dropped everything, and I said, I'm taking first turn. I have to go fast. I don't like playing armies that are with this list specifically, because I played a lot of Universal Battle games. I know you guys haven't seen me play this list except for the one battle report I just put up, which it's actually uploading as I make this. I know you guys haven't seen much what I've done with this list, but what I've come to the conclusion is if I'm fighting a shooting army, I drop everything first, and I am bum rushing you, and I don't care if you're gonna hide in the corner, use the terrain to your advantage or not, because most of the things, so the spiders have Strider 2, and most of the time I'm just gonna deploy the same way anyways, because I have to keep everybody in Zod's bubble. The only ones that are not in Zod's bubble at this current moment are my spiders, and of course my Wolf Riders. Well, my Wolf Riders can Vanguard into Zod's bubble if need be. So for the most part, as you can see, I got Zod in the center. I got Crom next to him, and Crom's in the dead center because Crom's ability to give buffs to either the savages or to the goblins is a huge deal. So Crom has to stay near those two, so that way when it happens, it happens. The spiders, it's a little risky because they're only leadership 6. Being leadership 6 on the flanks, if they get charged in a flank and whiff, they will probably run. But that's how I'm playing them at the moment. And then I got the K-Packs next to both Crom and the BSB. Everybody's in the Zod in BSB range, which is how I played it. We're going to go into turn 1. Turn 1, Orcs and Goblins. And I do like saying Orcs and Goblins because I do like having the savages on the table. I don't know why. It just gives me this great, like, joy that I have the savages on the table. Anyways, as you can see, I vanguarded up, and this is how he deployed. He put the war dancers out on the flanks. He has the archers in the middle by the forest, and he has his dryads right there, and his thicket beasts in the center. He has his general hiding behind the rock. I'm not entirely too sure why he had the general hiding behind the rock. But anyways, like I said, first turn, all I do is I just freaking march up. Everybody fucking just goes up. Everybody, fuck all the things. All the things are going up. I'm dead serious. I make sure that he doesn't have any charges on to me, but at the same time, I kind of keep it where everything could charge out in the next turn, especially if I call it the Wog. Magic Phase got 10 power dice. Holy mother hell, these purple dice. The whole weekend, except for Game 4, the purple dice were hot for Magic. The purple dice were hot for Magic except for Game 4. You'll see it when it happens. Magic, what did I do? I think I did Raven's Wing to these guys just to move them up closer so I could get shooting range of these guys over here. I go ahead and I do a Deceptive Glamour. Everything else was kind of out of range. I think most part was out of range, and then he stopped the spells that I could do, so the only thing I really did was like a Raven's Wing to push these guys up a little bit more, and then I did a Deceptive Glamour onto these archers here because he's going to pick apart my chariots. Shooting phase, these guys are going to go ahead and shoot into the archers, and they end up killing off one archer, and then for the most part, this is how it looks. It's going to go ahead and start off his turn. Turn 1, Sylvan Elves. Turn 1, Sylvan Elves. Sorry, I'm just looking at my phone really quick. Whoa, there it goes. Alright, turn 1 Sylvan Elves. As you can see, he decides to move back. He moves his archers back, he moves his dryads back, he moves his skirmishers out of the way. He knows these spiders are coming, and he's like, I'm not just ready to deal with them. So, I mean, basically, that's what a Sylvan Elf player should have done, based on the fact that they usually are avoidance and shooting. Not the Sylvan Elf player I know, Phil Carl. Every time I play him, he just bum rushes me straight forward. So it's kind of different to place a Sylvan Elf player who plays like Sylvan Elves would. Anyways, as you can see, he backs up here. He just basically doesn't give me any charges. We're going to go back to this picture over here. Now, the one thing in this picture here is his general is the Tree Father, right? His BSB is inside that unit of War Dancers. He's basically setting it up so if I charge a long charge from the Spider to his archers, which right now I need an 11 or a 10 on the Wog. If I fail, he's going to flank me with the freaking Tree Father and the Kestrel Knights. Okay? That's his plan. As you can see on this side, there's nothing really that's a threat to me because everything is so far back. Magic Phase got 5 power dice. Go ahead and I do a... or he goes ahead and he does Oaken Throne. He does have Druidism, so he puts up Oaken Throne. I just let it go through. And then nothing else really happens. He goes ahead into shooting, and these guys just... with -3 for moving, long range, -1 to hit, he hits and kills one chariot. Holy shit. Holy shit. That's all that happens. They don't panic. It's going to go ahead and start off turn 2. Orcs and Goblins. Turn 2, Orcs and Goblins. Oh god, here it goes. On 3, 2, 1. Wong! I'm going to call it the Wog. I'm going to charge a huge long charge with the A-Rock into the Dryads. Now I need a 10 on this one. And not only that, I'm going to charge the Chicken Rock into those Archers. And again, I need a 10 on this one. Now I'm just figuring, fuck it. Fuck it. I'm not scared. If he charges the Tree Man and the freaking Kestrel Knights into my flank, so be it. My Spider will probably kill the Kestrel Knights and then die to the Tree Father. It happens. But if I get this charge in, I am freaking pummeling him on turn 2, taking out his wizard, taking out his archers, and just neutering him, and then my chariots could do whatever the fuck they want to do. Alright, so I roll the dice. Now, the A-Rock misses, rolls an 8, and I needed a 10, and I'm just like, ah, shit. So I rolled a chicken rock, and boom! Get right in on that 10. You just see him automatically like, motherfucker. Oh, he was hoping that that gamble paid off for him, but it paid off for me. Holy shit, the space rocks in. And then basically everything else plays damage control. I move the chariots out of the line of sight of his tree father and the kestrel knights. I leave my goblins there. Zod is close enough where I could keep a leadership bubble on the goblins, and basically if he wants to bring those knights and those the tree father into the goblins into the trap, go for it. I move my wolf riders. I march them up all 20 inches to get right in front of those dryads and the treekin, so that way I can move Crom and the savages up. I move the bushwhackers up, and A-Rock fails to charge. Magic Phase got 7 power dice. Go ahead and I do a pyroclastic flow on these guys, knowing that it won't mess up the ranks. Kills off one of them. That's just okay. I like that. That's all that really happens in Magic. Over here, close combat. Close combat. Holy fuck! Holy fuck! Holy fuck! Oh, the chicken rock killed, like, look at that. 8, 10 guys, and he did 1 wound to me. The one thing he has going for him is he has extra rank, and he is steadfast in the forest. He sticks, and I'm just like, shit, well, I won combat, but I'm like, you know what, fuck this. I'm just going to turn sideways like so, and that way I could see these freaking war dancers coming up my flank. The main reason I did this was because, who am I stopping the phone call? That's from Skokie. That's from Jesse. Alright, the main reason I'm doing this is because if he charged my flank with those war dancers, I want to give him less attacks. And if I'm 150 wide, he's just going to get way too many attacks with war dancers. So I'm just like, nah, I'll just face this way and deal with it. And it's going to start off his turn. Sylvan Elves turn 2. Sylvan Elves turn 2. Oh, man. So he charges the war dancers in. He charges the dryads, the thicket beasts in. His war dancers fail the charge. Fail. Holy shit. Holy shit. He needed like a 6 and he rolled like a 4. Holy shit. Now, we are playing a flag scenario, so the 3 units that I picked was the 2 war dancers and the archers. And that's why you see the Buckeye tokens near them. Over here, he just moves out of the line of sight and out of the range of the A-Rock. And, yeah, over here he charged into my goblins, and I'm like, just go ahead and bring it. Like I said, I'm going to be steadfast. I'll stick. It's all good. Magic Phase, he got 8 power dice. He goes ahead and he starts regrowing these guys. I let it go through, though. And then, main thing I have to stop is his stone skin, because if he gets stone skin up on these guys, I'm probably going to lose combat. But if he gets extra bodies, oh well, he gets some extra hits. Shooting phase, he shoots into my chariots here with the tree father, does 1 wound, and then over here, as you can see, he kills my dogs, and he chooses to overrun. He overruns, and he falls just short of hitting the savages. Just short. So now, this is where it gets really nasty, because Crom sees a flank of those thicket beasts. Over here, close combat, he kills off my shady gits after my shady gits tried to assassinate him, and he's like, ah, fuck those guys, and he goes ahead and he just picks out all the wounds and kills each shady git. I only did 1 wound, and what is that, 2, 4, 6, 8? I don't know what those dice, oh, those were my attacks back, I was just lining them up. And then basically I end up killing off, I believe, 1 of his kestrel knights. I do. 1 of his kestrel knights. He wins combat, but I am steadfast and I stick. Over here, close combat, my space rock just keeps ripping apart these guys. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. How the fuck are you? I only get 16 attacks. How the fuck did I do 13 wounds? Jesus Christ. He is not steadfast. He is running. I believe I chase. I might have actually restrained. I think I restrained. I pushed him off the table, I think. I forgot how I did this. Anyways, turn 3 orcs and goblins. Turn 3 orcs and goblins. Whoo, here it goes, guys. I'm so sorry, Chris. I'm so sorry for this, but damn. I charged the A-Rock into the Dryads. I charged the Savages into the Treekin. I charge Crom into the Treekin. Now I know what you guys are saying. Well, you can't wheel past Zod. Well, yes I can, because look at this. Zod goes forward, or Crom goes forward, and Crom goes boom into the flank right there. Holy shit. Holy shit. Woo! I have never been more scared of Savage Orcs than with the power of Crom. Devastating charges. I only have 7 wide in the front. So that's devastating charges is getting 35 attacks. Not only that, the spider is getting 9 attacks, and the goblins on top are getting 16. Jesus fucking Christ. Jesus Christ. Anyways, I charged Space Rock into his skirmishers here, into his war dancers here, and then as you can see, I charged the K-Pack into the flank of these Kestrel Knights to get rid of the Kestrel Knights. I leave Zod right here, and the main thing is because he has his Tree Father in the ruins on the right, or the hill on the right, and I know he's coming for my goblins, so if I charge into those Treekin, I'll keep my leadership bubble a little too far, so I just decided to keep Zod out of it. There's no need to risk it at this point. I move the Baxter and the Bushwhackers over on that side to deal with all the chaff that's coming up the side, and Magic Phase, I got 11 power dice. When it rains, it pours, guys. When it rains, it pours. So, I don't even know what I did with magic. I think for the most part, this was the 11 dice magic phase where I got no spells off. That's what it was. Because I failed something, and I was just like, fail, fail. Okay, you have more dice than me. You're going to stop me. Alright, over here, close combat. He does extra attack dance. He said, fuck the ward save. There's no point. I have, like, right now is the best time I'm going to get the most attacks on you, so I'm just going to do it. So he gets the extra attack dance. He only gets off 1 wound. Ooh. My spider goes back, ends up killing off like 5 guys. But he actually sticks because he has a banner, BSB, and a war banner, and then he did like 1 wound, so I don't think he was losing by that much. He actually sticks, and they're going to stay there for a turn. Over here, close combat, the K-Pack just boom! Just rammed the shit out of those guys. It wasn't even a contest. I hit him, I wounded him, I did like 10 impact hits, and he was just like, and then after his armor saves, they were dead. Dead Kestrel Knights. So I reformed like so, and I realized this Tree Father's going to charge me, but at the same time, oh well. Over here. Let's start with the Dryads. Dryads go ahead and attack. They end up doing 4 wounds onto the A-Rock. 4 wounds onto the A-Rock. I go back, and I am not shitting you. I'm close to maybe 10 or 12 wounds, but the guy made ward saves out of his ass, and I ended up only killing off 5. The tree can go into Crom, do 1 wound onto Crom. They only kill off 2 savages. 2 savages. I go back. I ended up not even taking devastating charge. I took +1 to wound, so I could wound Treekins on 3s with the impact hits, 2s with the Crom's impact hits, and I ripped apart the unit. I ripped apart the whole fucking unit. There is not one guy, or actually I think one guy did live. I think one guy lived and ran away, so that's why Crom turned. So he ran away, and I end up chasing, and I end up running this way towards the hill, and the savages get stuck behind. Savages had to go, but at the same time it was just kind of like, well, there ain't nothing really to worry about. Alright, and it's going to start off his turn. Sylvan Elves turn 3, 4, 3, 3. He charges into the K-Pack. K-Pack runs away, runs into the fields, blows up one of the dogs on the fields. It's okay. They did their job. They got the goblins out. He's going to charge into, redirect into the goblins, and he fails, and he just stumbles forward. Over here, close combat, as you can see, he took the ward save. He ends up doing 2 wounds onto the Space Rock. Space Rock actually kills a couple guys, loses this combat. I passed my leadership 6. So I stick there for another round, and this is going to be really tough for him. Over your close combat, oh shit, he charged the Heath Riders and the Eagles in. He decided, you know what, at this point, I mean, you killed my best units, you killed my wizard, I might as well just try to get everything I can to kill these spiders. So he goes in, does 6 wounds, or 2 more wounds actually. I decided to go back and get rid of the Heath Riders. I kill off 4 out of the 5. I might have killed 1 with pyromancy, so I killed all the Heath Riders. I did a couple wounds onto this to the Eagle. My thought process was these guys don't have a ward save, so whatever's left, I'll just thunderstomp on the Dryads. We'll see how it goes. I think I win combat, but not by much. And it's going to start off turn 4, Orcs and Goblins. Turn 4, Orcs and Goblins. I turned Crom this way to deal with those freaking those war dancers. I also turned the Savages this way. He really doesn't fit getting past Crom, and in worst case scenario, if the Space Rock or A-Rock eats the rest of that unit, I'll open up a gap, but I don't think he could really get to the Savages. And then what I end up doing is I turn Baxter the Pyromaniac this way to just shoot in between the crack between Crom and this A-Rock. Get all my magic spells into those war dancers so I don't have to deal with them in close combat as much. I leave Zod in the middle of the field. That way he has a leadership bubble to the Space Rock, to the Savages, to the common goblins, to Baxter, to everybody. Zod has a 12-inch bubble all around. So he's doing good. And then we'll see how that goes. Magic phase, I got 11 power dice. Jesus Christ. Oh, man. Go ahead and I do a Pyroclastic Flow, kill off a couple of the war dancers. Go ahead and I do Wheel Turns and Flaming Swords onto this fucking unit of goblins. Onto this unit of goblins. I contemplated charging into, but I figured I would at least shoot him with Flaming Swords, and then when he charges in, I'll stand and shoot him with Flaming Swords, and then we get into combat, and I'm hitting him on 4s and wounding him on 3s, re-rolling those 3s. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Shooting phase, I shoot 30-something shots into him. I do 8 wounds. He armor saved every single one of them. Okay, over here, close combat. I don't think I killed this guy. I think he just, nothing happened. I think I killed like maybe 1 guy. I don't even know. But I stick, he sticks. Nothing really happened over here. Over here, close combat. Finally, the A-Rock eats the Eagle, kills off a bunch of the Dryads, and the Dryads are going to go ahead and run. And I decide to overrun, and I believe it actually ends up touching into his War Dancer. So I charge a new charge into the War Dancers, got the flank, and it's just getting uglier and uglier. Holy crap. How many pinchers do I have left? Turn 4. I'm sorry, Chris. This is a brutal game. Turn 4, he charges this Tree Father into my BSB's unit. I'm like, okay, I still have a champ left. So I could challenge out with the champ and just win based on combat res and hold up till Zod gets there. But I do have the Wheel Turns up and Flaming Swords up. That's a lot of goblin attacks. Not really, though, because it's only that 12 guys. Anyways, over here, close combat. I finally killed the last guy. Do 2 wounds onto his BSB. He does a wound or 2 onto the Space Rock. I Thunderstomp, and I just kill the fucking BSB. Wow, Space Rock really did some work. Space Rock really fucking did some work. Killed the Druid, killed the Archer Bunker, killed the freaking War Dancer Bunker, and killed the BSB. That is incredible, Space Rock. Holy shit. A-Rock, not far off. Kill these fucking War Dancers. So the A-Rock killed the War Dancers, killed the Dryads, killed the freaking Eagle, killed the Heath Riders. They're both on a fucking rampage. Holy shit. Over here, close combat, I do freaking 10 wounds. He ward saves and armor saves 9. 9! And he kills a couple guys. He whiffed. I didn't care. I was steadfast anyways. I was like, fuck it. I'll just try this. He doesn't target my BSB because my BSB would have his ward save, and he's just like, fuck it. So, turn 5, Orcs and Goblins. Turn 5, Orcs and Goblins. I turn Zod this way. I turn Crom this way. I turn the A-Rock and Space Rock this way. I turn the Savages this way. I turn Baxter the Pyromaniac this way. They're all coming after you, Chris the Tree Walker. Chris the Tree Walker. Alright, Magic Phase, I got 8 power dice. Go ahead and I do Deceptive Glamour. I end up giving him my champ in close combat. He kills my champ. I figured I don't have Flaming Swords or Wheel Turns up. I might as well just win by combat res and see if he runs. He doesn't. He's stubborn. Turn 5, Orcs and Goblins. Or turn 6, Oh, turn 5. I think turn 5 happened. His turn. Nothing happened. He killed a couple. He did one wound. He did all 7 attacks onto my BSB. My BSB has parry and -1 to hit that I got off. So he only does like 3 hits, 2 wounds, and I ward saved one of them. And he's like, motherfucker. I didn't do a single wound to him. It's okay. It's going to start off my turn. Orcs and Goblins turn 6. I charge Zod in. I charge Crom in. And let's just finish this. Let's finish this. Finish him. Magic Phase, I got 5 power dice. I don't even know what I did. Go in. Challenge out with Zod. Zod goes in and boom! Zod racks up 4 fucking wounds. And the funny part is, I forgot I had Divine Icon. I think I probably would have killed him. But it didn't matter. I get Devastating Charge with Crom. Because Zod's already Strength 8. Why do I need more +1 to wound? Challenged out. He doesn't do any wounds to Zod. I win combat, but it does absolutely nothing. Like, Zod just whooped his ass. I win combat by huge. He sticks. He's stubborn. It's going to start off turn 6. Last turn of the game. Zod goes, and Zod just finishes the job. Holy shit. Wow. I think he tried to do 2 crush attacks. That's what he did. He did 2 crush attacks, and he failed them both. I think he missed the first one. The second one he got, but I ward saved it. And then I just finished him off with my great weapon. Holy fuck, was that a massacre. I am so sorry, Chris. That game was just bloody. I felt bad because Chris was a guy coming back to the game, and that was just not the game to come back to. Oh, man. But, man, that was a massacre for the Orcs and Goblins. They just freaking ripped apart some trees. I blame this mainly on Phil Carl, because if I didn't have so much practice with Phil Carl and his tree army, I wouldn't know what to do with the trees as much, but I totally knew what to do with the trees because I play Phil Carl. MVP, whoo! MVP is going straight to the Space Rock. Space Rock just freaking racked up the most amount of points, and that is back-to-back games where the Space Rock is just ripping up fucking points. I have 2,100 against the game against Brian and 2,100 again against this game against Chris, the Tree Man Walker. Holy crap, this Space Rock is jumping up to top spot immediately at 4,200 points in just 2 games. Bazooka and the Horde got a good chunk of points. They got 3,594 in 2 games. Crom took up the next highest amount with 1455 for helping assist in the kill of the general as well as killing those treekin. And Crom is just a freaking tank. Zod took only 950 this game, which still puts him up at a respectable number. The A-Rock took 776, which is also a respectable number. The K-Pack took only 327 from the remaining Kestrel Knights, but it's okay. The Foot Clan took 505, which is pretty decent. I think that's basically their point cost, so they basically carried their weight. And Baxter Pyromaniac really didn't do shit. The Bushwhackers didn't do shit as well. They probably got like a point for killing a Heath Rider, but that's about it. Holy crap. Anyways, guys, that's how that goes. So this gives me a big 20-0 lead, and also it throws me up to the top of the food chain. So for the next game, I'm on table 1, going against the next guy who tabled his opponent, which is Chris Mintz, and I have to play the fucking zombie dragon. God damn it! This is exactly what I did not want to do right now, game 2, but it's what I have to do. Anyways, guys, hope you enjoy. Until next time, and if you guys haven't seen the video already, there's a video of me and Chris playing this game, and I'm scratching my balls in it and everything. You get to see the full action on Evershade Gaming. I'm gonna say this wrong. I think it's Evershade. Yeah, Evershade Gaming channel. So you could check out the video, Game 1 table. But I'll be putting up the video as soon as possible, and that way you guys could hear what my thought processes were. Anyways, guys, hope you guys enjoy. Take care, and if you guys haven't hit like and subscribe, hit like and subscribe. If you guys have any comments or feedback, leave it in the comment section down below. And guys, thank you for all those who support me through Patreon. But guys, I'm looking for some more support because I'm trying to get a new camera. I'm trying to get money for Croatia next year for ETC, as well as I'm trying to get stuff out to you guys. I'm working on some Koopa dice that have been taking way too long for me to receive. I don't know what the holdup is on that. I might have to find a new provider, but Koopa dice are in the Patreon reward, so if you sign up to my Patreon, you will receive a pair of Koopa dice, as well as my new magic cards when they come out. I am working on them currently as a future reward. Guys, for those of you who show support, thank you, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care, and peace.